Someone is using specific words and phrases on you right now in your daily life to quietly control how you think, how you feel, and how you respond to them. These aren't random. They're calculated. And the most dangerous thing about them is how normal they sound. By the end of this video, you'll never hear these phrases the same way again. Before we get into the phrases, you need to understand why language is so powerful in the hands of a manipulator. Words bypass logic. When someone speaks to you calmly and confidently, your subconscious absorbs the message before your conscious mind has a chance to evaluate it. Manipulators know this. They don't need to force you into anything. They just need the right words, repeated often enough until you start to believe them. These are the 5 they reach for most. You're too sensitive. This is one of the most widely used phrases in the manipulator's playbook, and it works because it sounds almost reasonable. You express hurt, you raise a concern, you react to something that genuinely affected you, and instead of being heard, you get, "You're too sensitive. You always take things the wrong way." What just happened? Your emotional response, which was valid, has been reframed as a personal flaw. The conversation is no longer about what they did. It's about your inability to handle things. Do this enough times, and a person stops expressing their feelings altogether. Not because they no longer have them, but because they've been trained to believe their feelings are the problem. What to do? When you hear this phrase, pause and ask yourself, was my reaction genuinely disproportionate, or am I being told it was? There's a big difference between self-reflection and self-doubt manufactured by someone else.
I was just joking. This phrase is a manipulation escape hatch. It lets someone say something harmful and then instantly erase accountability the moment you react to it. They make a cutting remark about your appearance, your intelligence, your choices. You flinch, and suddenly, relax. It was just a joke. Can't you take a joke? Now you're the problem. You're too uptight, too serious, and they walk away clean. Here's the truth about this phrase. Genuine humor doesn't consistently target the same person's insecurities. If someone's jokes always seem to land on your weakest points, that's not comedy. That's a weapon with a punchline attached. What to do? You're allowed to say, "That didn't feel like a joke to me." You don't need to perform laughter at your own expense.
You always do this. You never do that. Absolute language is a manipulation technique. Always. Never. Every time. You always overreact. You never listen. You're always doing this. When someone uses absolute language, they're not describing a pattern. They're building a case that positions you as permanently flawed and them as perpetually wronged. And here's what happens in your mind. You stop defending the specific moment and start defending your entire character. Suddenly, you're in a completely different argument to the one that started. You're no longer talking about what happened. You're talking about who you fundamentally are. That shift is not accidental. It's the point. What to do? Bring it back to the specific. Let's talk about what happened today, not always and never. Absolute language deserves a specific response. If you really loved me, you would. This phrase is emotional blackmail dressed up as vulnerability, and it is one of the most effective manipulation tools in any close relationship. It works by hijacking your love or loyalty and turning it into leverage. If you truly cared, you would do what I want. If you don't, that's proof you don't really love me. It creates a false choice. Either comply or accept the label of someone who doesn't care. There is no third option offered. No room for boundaries. No space for a different perspective. Real love doesn't come with ultimatums dressed as feelings. Genuine vulnerability says, "This matters to me." Manipulation says, "Prove it, or else." What to do? Recognize the structure. Love is not a bargaining chip. Anyone who uses your affection as a condition for their demands is not expressing need. They're applying pressure. You're imagining things. We saved this one for last because it is the most psychologically dangerous phrase on this list. You notice something, a change in behavior, a contradiction, something that doesn't add up. You bring it up, and you're told you're imagining things. That never happened. You're being paranoid. This phrase doesn't just dismiss what you said, it attacks the source, your own perception, your own mind. And as we covered in our last video, this is the foundation of gaslighting. The goal is to make you distrust your instincts so completely that you stop raising concerns at all. Because every time you do, you end up feeling crazy. What to do? Trust the pattern. One dismissed concern might be a misunderstanding. A consistent pattern of being told your perception is wrong is a red flag. Write it down. Document it. Trust what you experienced. 5 different phrases. One shared purpose. Every single one of them moves the focus away from the manipulator's behavior and onto you, your sensitivity, your humor, your patterns, your love, your sanity. That's the signature of psychological manipulation. It doesn't defend itself. It dismantles you instead. Now that you know what to listen for, you can't unhear it. Knowing the phrases is the first step, but there's a deeper layer to this. Understanding the personality types who rely on these tactics most. Narcissists, dark triads, master manipulators. That's exactly what we're breaking down in the next video. Subscribe to Dark Psyche Core so you don't miss it. Your mind is worth protecting. I'll see you in the next one.